Let's go ahead and start in a seat, and then we will start the asana portion of our practice on our back. My light's still blinking, which tells me that this is going to be funny for the next few minutes. So I'm going to talk louder, and then I'll plug it back in a minute and see if we're good. So tall, comfortable seat. Rest with your hips and your legs onto the floor. Rest your hands onto your knees or the tops of the legs. And just experience how the breath is in this moment. If it's slow, if it's quick, if it catches or if it's smooth. If it feels fulfilling or if you feel like you really want that last bit of air. If you feel like the exhale doesn't complete all the way. Noticing where we are breathing, whether it's high into the chest, into collarbones and shoulders, or if we can breathe lower into the abdomen. Breathing down toward the basin shape of the pelvis, down toward the floor, where sit bones land. Even act as though you're breathing down to the knees. Notice the shape of the body change with inhale versus exhale. Notice how either half of the breath may feel. Awakening, enlivening, or calming and grounding. Seeing which half of the breath feels more beneficial or therapeutic in this moment. Do we need more alertness, more joy? Or do we need more peace and calm? Set an intention for your practice. This can be a word or a phrase. It gives you motivation or instruction on how to take your practice. With what energy? What emphasis? How would it feel to embody your intention through your whole practice? Setting your intention and taking it with you. Bow your head to your chest to seal in your intention. Blink the eyes open. Take the head up and go ahead and release all the way onto your back, please. Knees pointed toward the ceiling, arms down on either side of the torso. Let's see if our mic's good now. All right. As you inhale, please ground the soles of the feet into the floor. Feel where the shoulders land the ground as well. Inhale, lift hips, lift the arms. Hips reach their highest point as the arms land around the head. As you exhale, release the arms, the spine, the hips back to the floor. Inhale, raise hips, raise arms, lifting through hip points, hip creases, tops of the legs. Exhale, release back down. We'll take 2 more, please, on your own breath. Full inhale, full length of movement. And full exhale. When the exhale completes, arms and hips land. And take the arms out to the sides, T shape or goalpost shape, and walk the feet wider than hips toward mat width. Exhale, release the knees to the left. Let the right knee hang toward the floor or left foot. Inhale to point the knees back up.
Knees release to the right. Left knee can hang toward right foot, toward floor. Inhale, point up. Exhale, knees to the left. Point up. Knees to the right. Point up, walk the feet back toward hip width. Cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh for figure 4. Right knee actively away from you, away from right shoulder. Pick up the left footprint. We can stay active here, legs on their own with the arms down at the sides. Or hold on to left hamstring, gently start to draw it in. Left knee toward left shoulder. Breathing down into right hip, side seam of the right leg. And release left foot and right foot back to the floor. Switch sides, please. Left ankle over right thigh. Left knee away. Pick up the right foot. Legs active on their own. Or if you'd like, hands around the back of the right leg. Again, just helping guide right knee toward right shoulder. Not pulling, not forcing. Let the shoulders still be relaxed. And release the right foot and left foot back to the floor. Hug the navel back toward the ground, so we're anchoring the lower spine toward the floor. As you inhale, raise the arms, raise the hips back up to our dynamic bridge pose. And as you exhale, release the arms, the spine, the hips, and especially the lower spine, all back to the ground. Keep the navel hugging back. Inhale, lift the arms up over the shoulders and the feet up over the hips, so navel stays strong. Exhale, release the arms and the feet back to the floor. So we're alternating. Dynamic bridge, inhale. Exhale, release back down. And bug, lower spine anchors. Inhale, lift the feet, lift the hands up over hips and shoulders. Exhale, release to set up for our dynamic bridge. Bridge pose, inhale. Exhale, release. Bug pose, inhale. And release back down. One more bridge, inhale. And lower. Bug, lift up to stay, breathing here. On your inhale, one limited time, lower spine stays. Inhale the right arm down alongside right ear. Exhale, right arm lifts up. Left arm, inhale alongside left ear. Exhale, lift up. Left leg, inhale about halfway, and we can keep the leg straight or bend the knee about 90 degrees. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, straighten right leg out, bend or straight. Exhale, back up. Opposites or one limited time again. Inhale, right arm or right arm and left leg. Exhale, lift as both reach away. That's when the navel will tend to pull away from the floor. Try to keep it hugging back. Just left arm or left arm and right leg. Exhale, curl up. You might feel a slight shake as we reach our full expansion. Left leg or left leg and right arm. Exhale up. I'm shaking. Right leg or right leg and left arm. Exhale, lift up. We'll do one more round. Individual limbs or opposites. Right arm or right arm and left leg. Exhale, lift up. Left arm or left arm and right leg. Exhale, lift. Left leg or left leg and right arm. Exhale up. Right leg or right leg and left arm. Exhale, lift up. Now please hug both knees into the chest. Let the navel relax, lower spine anchoring on its own as we're in a slight curve here. Left knee stays into the chest. Inhale, extend right leg out. Flex the right foot away as left knee draws toward left shoulder. Exhale, right knee back in. Left leg, inhale, extend out. Left foot flexed away. Right knee stays close. Exhale, back in. Lower spine still anchoring. Right leg, inhale, extend. Exhale, back to chest. Left leg, extend. And exhale, back in. Tuck the hands behind the knees, please, underneath the knees. Rocking a couple times, head to tailbone. Rocking up into boat pose, lifting the chest. Shins can lift even with the knees. Arms can float or continue to hold the backs of the knees with the hands. And tip forwards. Take the soles of the feet together. Come into diamond pose. If we're off the front edge of the mat, go ahead and slide yourself back so the ankles have a cushion. Lift tall, hinge from the hips to fold forward over the feet. Hands can walk to toes or past. Breathing here. And sit back up. Go ahead and cross the legs. Symbol cross leg seat here. Gentle twist. Left hand to right knee. Right hand plants behind you to help twist open. Still breathing. Inhales, lift the spine tall through the crown of the head, a bit through the sternum. And exhales, draw the rib cage back in. Navel back, helping support our twist. And the inhale will expand. It might feel like it expands us out of the twist slightly. And on the exhale, when there's a bit more space, we can draw in more deeply. Switching sides, spin back through the front. Right hand to left knee, left hand back behind the left hip. Sit tall, open left shoulder back. Left rib cage draws back in as you exhale. And twist forwards. Shift onto hands and knees, please. Come into tabletop. As you inhale, lift the chest to a cow pose. Shoulder blades down the back as heart lifts forwards. Child's pose, hips back toward the heels. Torso can land onto the legs as forehead may land onto the floor. Inhale back to cow pose. Lift the chest, shoulder blades back. Child's pose, exhale, hips back toward heels. Inhale forwards to cow. Tuck the toes, move back to down dog, pedaling the feet or find stillness through both legs. And please walk the feet forwards. Come into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half lift, heart forwards. Press the hands into the shins to help lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise all the way up. Hands overhead. And hands to heart center. Take the feet to hip width. So coming into chair pose. Making sure that the feet are hip width and that the knees also stay to hip width. So we're not letting the knees knock in. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Hands can stay overhead or sink to heart, sitting back to chair pose. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up, stand tall. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step your right leg back, kneeling lunge. Inhale, heart lifts forwards, draw the shoulders back slightly. Kneeling pyramid, hips move back. Begin to straighten left knee as we fold over left leg. Inhale, bend into left knee, heart forwards again. Exhale, step back to down dog. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower. Take your preferred vinyasa, your back bend. And moving back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards. Come back up to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Goalpost back bend, elbows wide. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, raise the arms. Hands to heart center, feet back to hip width for chair pose. Same series with left leg back this time. Inhale, raise the arms. Chair pose, sitting back. Inhale, stand all the way up. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, left leg back, kneeling lunge. Inhale, heart forwards, lift the chest. Hips back, kneeling pyramid, folding over right leg. Inhale, bend into right knee, lift the chest. Tuck left toes, exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower vinyasa. And back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, back to a half lift at the top. Forward fold. Raise up, hands overhead. Elbows wide, goalpost back bend. Exhale, navel back as we open the chest. Inhale, raise the arms. Hands to heart center. Chair pose, start again. Feet to hip width. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, sit back to chair. Inhale all the way up. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Fold, plant the hands, right leg back, kneeling lunge, right knee to the floor. This time, lift the chest and the arms. Inhale, lift up, lift the navel away from left thigh. Exhale, fold, hands around the left foot. Inhale, lift the chest a little more once again. Exhale, navel strong, straighten left knee, fold, kneeling pyramid to stay. Inhale, left knee bends forwards, lift the chest again. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Lower, vinyasa, back bend. And down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards. Half lift at the top. Forward fold. Raise up, hands high. Goalpost back bend, navel strong, elbows wide. Exhale. Inhale, raise the arms. Hands to heart center. Last round, chair pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, sit back to chair. Inhale, lift tall. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, left leg back, kneeling lunge. Navel raises. Inhale, lift the arms, kneeling lunge. Fold, hands around right foot. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders back. Kneeling pyramid, hips back, folding over right leg. Next inhale, bend back into right knee, heart lifts forwards, kneeling lunge. Exhale, tuck left toes, down dog. Plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, vinyasa. And back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift at the top. Forward fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. This time, hands directly to heart center. Weight even between both feet, both legs. Inhale to take the arms up overhead, interlace last 3 fingers, pointers up. Point up and over to the left side, curving long from right foot to right hand, navel back, rib cage back. Still breathing. Inhale, point up. Exhale, point up and over to the right. Left side curves long. Inhale, point back up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, move back, plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down, landing. Hands back around the hips for locust pose. Pull the front of the shoulders away from the floor, lift forward through the center of the chest. We can float the legs. Triceps pulling back toward the sides of the rib cage. Still breathing. And exhale, release hands around rib cage and come into puppy pose. Arms stay farther out in front than they would for child's pose. And allow the chest to suspend down toward the floor. Chest, chin, or forehead could land. If you have a tendency to hang into the shoulder joints, if we're a little hypermobile, take the pinky finger edges of the hands to the floor. So we offer a little external rotation in the shoulders. And pressing the hands into the ground, lift the chest away from the floor, coming in to thread the needle. Left arm underneath right shoulder. Left cheek or temple can land, pressing right hand to the floor still. If you'd like, we can take right hand below right chest and help twist open. Maybe wrap right hand back toward left hip, or left hip crease even. And switch. Extend the left arm forward. Right arm under left shoulder, other side. Right cheek or temple can land, pressing the left hand to the floor, active through outer seam of the arm and torso. If you'd like, left hand can pull back below the chest to help twist, or wrap toward right hip toward a bind. Rebuild, come back up onto hands and knees into tabletop. Tuck the toes, move back to down dog. Walking the hands back to the feet, come into a forward fold at the back of your mat. Heels slowly start to land. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. And hands to heart center. And shift your weight into the left foot, left leg. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. Staying here, lifting through the top of the right thigh. So trying to make sure we're not leaning back to create that lift. Head still tall. And release the right foot to the floor. Switch, weight into right foot, right leg. Bend the left knee up toward the height of the hip again, engaging through the left side of the abdomen, top of the left leg. Almost the same strength as when we were lifting in and out of our bug pose. And release the left foot back to the floor. Feet hip width for chair pose. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Hands to heart, sit back to chair, and we will stay this time. Hips, knees, feet, all about the same width. Rib cage back. We could even lift the toes to sink more weight into the heels. Legs strong. Inhale, stand all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Fold, plant the hands. On your inhale, walk the hands back out into plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor, coming into Sphinx pose. Take the elbows and the forearms forwards, lifting up through the front of the chest. Lifting the right elbow away from the floor. Thread left arm under right shoulder as we bend right knee up in front of the right hip, leaving it onto the ground or onto a block. 3 times as you inhale, open the right arm behind you. Take the right chest with you. So right shoulder blade moves toward, but doesn't have to land on the floor. Exhale, close right palm back onto left palm. Inhale, open the right shoulder back, twisting through the upper spine, moving through the chest. Exhale, close right palm to left palm. Inhale, open back. Exhale, close. Rebuild, straighten the right leg back, build back up onto forearms, onto elbows, breathing here into our Sphinx pose. And switch, straighten the left elbow away from the floor. Roll onto your right side, bend left knee up toward the height of the hip, in front of the left hip. 3 times, inhale, open the left arm back behind you. Left shoulder blade may not land. As you exhale, close, left palm back onto right palm. Inhale, open back into a reclined twist, just temporary, our moving twist. Lots of dynamics today. Exhale, close, left palm back to right palm. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Straighten the left leg back, rebuild back up onto forearms and elbows. Sphinx pose. And perhaps, if you'd like, build taller onto the hands for high cobra. And exhale, release the chest back to the floor, hands around rib cage. Press to hands and knees, come back into tabletop. Working a bit again through opposite limbs. Inhale, extend your right arm forward and your left leg back behind you. Keep the navel in so we're not curling into a back bend. As you exhale, take the elbow to the knee under the torso, rounding like a cat spine. Inhale, extend out. We'll do this 3 times. That was 1. Exhale, right elbow to left knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach out. Once more, elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach out. Release to tabletop for a moment. Landing. Switching sides for left hand and right leg. Inhale, extend the limbs out and away from one another. Navel stays in. Exhale, elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Slight curl, slight strength under. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, under. Inhale, extend. Exhale, under. Extend out once more. And release to tabletop. Cow pose, lift the chest. Child's pose, hips back toward heels. Walk the hands over to the left side of the mat, curve long from right hip to right hand, expanding the breath into the right side of the torso, just as we did our standing half moon in the beginning. Walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, curve long through left side. Hands back to the center, back to child's pose. Inhale forwards to cow. Tuck the toes, back to down dog. On your inhale, take your left leg back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards, crescent lunge. Feet in their own lanes, legs strong. Standing up, taking the navel away from the left thigh like we did in our kneeling lunge. Twist, right arm forward, left arm behind. Breathing here, staying, left ribs draw back as you exhale. Heart forwards, inhale, lift the arms up. Hands to heart center. With hands to heart, ground the right heel, open the hips, come into warrior 2. We don't necessarily have our arms to help us balance here. Inhale, take the arms out, warrior 2. As you exhale, take your right hand to your left hand like you're about to pull back a bow. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, right arm forwards. Inhale, pull back. It was either bow or air guitar, bow one, but if you want to air guitar, Trish, Jules, rock it. Exhale, forwards. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, forwards. Inhale, pull back to stay for warrior two, 2 breaths. And exhale, left elbow onto left thigh. Right arm straight up over the shoulders. Staying here if you'd like, or if you choose to, reach the right arm alongside right ear for our extended propped side angle. Right pinky toe edge, outer edge of the foot grounds as right hand reaches away. Legs strong. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm up. Exhale, spiral the hands down around left foot. Runner's lunge. Inhale, left leg back to 3-legged dog. And down dog. Other side, inhale, right leg back, 3 legs. Exhale, step forwards, crescent lunge, leg strong. Inhale to stand up. Twist, left arm forward, right arm behind. 3 breaths, staying here. Heart forwards, inhale, lift the arms up and draw hands down to heart center, keeping the hands to heart. Ground the left heel, open the hips, open the chest. Ready for warrior two. Inhale, extend the arms out. As you exhale, take the left hand forwards to the right hand, similar to what we did in our twist. Inhale, pull the left hand back, warrior two. Exhale, forwards, left hand to right hand. Inhale, pull back. We can even run the hand alongside right arm until we extend back all the way. Exhale, forwards to palm. Inhale, pull back, stay to breathe here, 2 breaths. And exhale, take right elbow onto the right thigh, left arm straight up over shoulder, staying here. Left ribs hugging back like in our strong, stable twist in the beginning. If you'd like, extend left arm forward to extend our propped side angle. Left pinky toe edge of the foot, grounded. Stretching up through the left fingertips. Legs strong. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Exhale, spiral the hands down around right foot, runner's lunge, back heel off. Inhale, right leg back to 3-legged dog. And down dog, release. Plank or kneeling plank, stay to breathe. Plant the left hand below the face, tipping both heels to the left, coming into side plank, lifting the right arm up. Similar shape. And if you'd like, we can land the left knee or we can step the right foot forwards for an assist. Exhale, curl right arm under left shoulder. Inhale, open the right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, curl under left shoulder. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, curl under. Inhale, lift up once more. Release back to plank or kneeling plank. Stay to breathe here, 2 to 3 breaths in the middle. And plant the right hand below the face, tip the heels to the right. Again, we can set up with left foot forwards or right knee down. 3 times. Exhale, curl left arm under right shoulder. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, curl under. Inhale, open up. Exhale, under. Raise back up. Release to plank or kneeling plank. 2 to 3 more breaths here. And exhale, lower all the way down to the floor, coming into shoulder roll. Right arm out to the side, straight out or a goalpost shape. Roll onto right hip, right side. Left knee could point to the ceiling. Left arm could extend back behind you, bringing more weight into the stretch you may feel in right chest or right shoulder. Or we can keep the left arm in front to the floor, or both knees in front onto the floor. So again, if the limbs reach back, there will be a little more weight, a little more intensity. If they stay forward, a little less intensity. And roll back onto the chest, please. Left arm out to the side, shoulder roll, left side. Rolling on to left hip, left side body. Right limbs could reach back, again adding more weight, more sensation. You might find that we need a different variation on this side than we did on the other side, and that's totally fine. For less weight, we'll keep the knees forwards, and right hand pressing into the floor to help twist open. And roll back onto the chest. Take the hands around the rib cage and we'll come into a wide leg child's pose. Take your time. Let the circulation return to left arm. Press up to hands and knees. Walk the knees a little wider than hips, wider than rib cage. We'll let the torso land on or between the knees. Breathing down toward the bowl shape of the pelvis like we did in the beginning of our practice. And rebuild. Come back up onto hands and knees, please. And tuck the toes. Back to down dog. Walking the hands back to the feet again. Back to a forward fold at the back of your mat. Knees can bend once we get there, and hands may need to lift to the shins. That's okay if they don't touch the floor. Inhale, half lift, chest forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Now shift your weight back into the left foot, left leg. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip, again lifting through the navel, through the top of the right leg. And if it's comfortable to do so, straighten the right leg out in front. And we might start to straighten the knee and it doesn't get all the way straight, and that is okay as well. And bend the right knee and release the right foot back to the floor. Weight shifts into the right leg. Bend left knee up toward the height of the hip. And we'll start to straighten left knee. Left foot can flex out in front. And try to keep the lift through the upper portion of the leg. If we straighten it and it lowers, opt to keep the knee as high as it was. Maybe the leg not as straight as it can go. Kind of pick our battles here. If we're going here, it might be better to go here. And bend the left knee all the way. Release the left foot back to the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands forwards. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Locust pose. Once again, hands back around hips. Front of the shoulders, pull back shoulder blades toward the spine, lifting the hands, lifting arms and legs to breathe. And hands around rib cage. Move back to down dog. Walk, step, or hop forwards. Half lift at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Step your right leg back. Come into a wide leg stance. Toes in front of the heels. Interlacing hands behind the back. Open the chest and the shoulders as you press the hands down away from the shoulder blades. Exhale, hinge at the hip joints, fold forwards. Heart swan dives forwards as the hands continue to raise away from the lower spine, away from the back of the head. Inhale back up to a wide leg half lift. Walk the hands out in front of you and heel toe the feet closer together to come down onto hands and knees, still facing the long edge of your mat. Step the right foot wide to the back of the mat, coming into gate pose. Stand up onto the left knee and the right foot. If you need more of a cushion under left knee, you can grab a blanket or towel, or roll the front portion of your mat in so we have 2 layers. Right hand slides down the right leg, left arm up and over, similar to our standing half moon in the beginning, similar to our extended side angle. Inhale, lift back up and lower the left arm down. Take the hands down to the floor. Keep the right foot to the ground. So keeping the legs where they are. Press the hips back slightly. If you're familiar with frog pose, similar to half frog, we could even inch the right foot farther away from you so the left knee is wide of the left hip, and press the hips back a little bit. They probably won't reach the left heel, and that's okay. But starting to feel a deeper stretch in the inside, maybe back seam of the right leg. We can move forwards and backwards gently, slowly. And weight forwards back onto the hands and the left knee. Set the right knee below the hips. Gate pose, other side, left foot grounds at the top of the mat. Stand up onto right knee and left foot. Left hand slides down, left leg, right arm can reach up and over. Again, as we have been for every side bend, every lateral stretch, keep the navel in and the right rib cage back. And lifting up, take the hands down onto the floor, and we can inch the left foot a little farther away, so right knee is just outside right hip. Shifting the weight forwards to the hands and then back. Even think of tipping the left sit bone up a little bit, almost like a cow spine, but just in the lower back. Shifting the weight forwards and shifting the hips back. Slowly on your own. It can follow the breath, or we can breathe freely as we gently shift forwards and backwards. And shift the weight back into the hands and right knee. We can heel toe left foot in or step the left knee directly below the left hip. Sit the hips back, come into a wide leg seat. Hands behind the hips to lift up and out of the lower spine, noticing if we had the tendency to kind of slump into our seat. We can always, again, grab a towel or a blanket and sit onto the very edge of it to elevate the hips. Hinging at hip joints to fold forwards. Hands can stay behind you or walk forwards, taking the torso with it. And please walk the hands back up, sitting up. Spin so that the toes, the feet, face the front of the mat, and we'll come through boat pose to make our way back onto our back. So make sure the head will land onto something soft. Tuck the hands behind the knees, lift the chest, start to lean back, straightening the arms as we go. Once the arms are all the way straight, a little more of a lean, we'll pick the feet up. Arms can float or continue to hold the legs. And slowly curl your way all the way down onto the floor, hugging the knees to the chest. With a lot of twisting through thoracic spine, upper spine. We'll take a twist for the mid-back and lower spine. Arms out to the sides, T-shape or goalpost shape. We can shift where the pelvis is if you'd like to. Release the knees to the left. So if there's an uncomfortable torque or pull in the lower spine, if you really feel like the hips are far off to the left, we can move whole pelvis back to the center and re-enter our twist. Left arm can anchor the legs, head could turn right. And press the left arm into the ground, take the knees up. Set the feet to the floor, move the hips back to the center if we did shift where the pelvis was, or maybe shift them over to the left preemptively. Pick up the feet, knees over hips or navel, and release the knees to the right. Right arm could anchor the legs, and we'll turn the head to the left.
And the second might drop. Shift the hips back to the center and make your way down to a long spine and hug the knees into the chest. Adding on any additional shapes or poses you'd like to feel comfortable and ready to release for Shavasana. If you'd like, we can take another figure 4. We can take another round of alternating knees to chest. Completing your practice as you need, and when you are ready, do come to a comfortable corpse pose onto the floor. Legs can be long down the length of the mat, or walk the feet a little wider and let the knees knock in for our collapsed bridge pose. Finishing your practice as you need, as you'd like. Come to your preferred shape for Shavasana when you are ready. Releasing comfortably when you are ready. Observe the back of the body and where it lands to the floor. Observe the back of the head and where it lands. Observe the backs of the shoulders, the backs of the arms and where they rest into the floor. Soften the palms. Feel where the back of the hands rest into the floor. Breathing into the center of the chest. Feel the center of the chest rise and fall. Exhales, releasing, surrendering into the floor. Breathing down into the navel. Let the belly rise and fall. Feeling where the hips and the legs land into the floor. Relaxing through the front of the hips, through the glutes, through the backs of the legs. Relax through ankles, through the soles of the feet. Relax through the toes. As you inhale, feel the breath rise from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. As you exhale, feel the breath release down to the soles of the feet, as though the breath is moving inside the body. No connection to the physical shape or physical change. Inhales from soles of the feet up to the crown of the head, and exhales down to the soles of the feet. Now, please observe the exhales moving down the arms to the palms of the hands. Inhales up the center line of the arms up to the crown of the head, and exhales down the arms to the palms of the hands. Inhale up the arms to the crown of the head. Exhale down to the palms of the hands. Exhales now down to the base of the spine. Inhales to the crown of the head. Exhales to the base of the spine. Exhales now to heart center. Inhale to the crown of the head, and exhale to heart center. Rest now with your awareness at heart center. If you'd like, continue to observe the slight shift in the breath, or observe this still point at heart center. Take your awareness back to the intention you had set at the beginning of your practice, repeating it a couple times in the mind. Now, please expand the breath back into the trunk of the body, back out into the limbs, toward hands and feet, fingers and toes. Start to move the fingers and the toes. Bend the ankles and the wrists. Let the head rock from side to side. Bend the elbows and walk the feet back to hug the knees to the chest. Give the legs a squeeze and roll onto one side, please. Pressing your hands into the floor, coming up to a tall seat. Hands can rest back onto the tops of the legs.
spine lifting tall, energized, alert, yet calm and grounded. Taking your intention and your practice with you. Coming back to any tools, any techniques, physical or otherwise, to take you back toward this state of peace and clarity in both mind and body. You can bring your hands together at heart center, bowing your head to your chest, acknowledging your breath, your peace, and all that you are. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. How rude. Microphone dropping during Shavasana, right before Shavasana, but we're back on here. Hi guys, thanks for practicing with me today. If you'd like to see more videos, if you'd perhaps like to see more of Miko's arm being shoved under the door, I'll link a couple right here. I'll link my page. I'll link the most recent series or video. And subscribe if you'd like to let yourself know when I put out a new video. What do you think, Miko? Do you think that's a good idea? I think that's a good idea.